This is Coach Charles on Kick on Sports. Now, this is what most clubs and most fans are not acknowledging, or they are just refusing to acknowledge. The fact that Manchester United's attack right now compares very favorably with most of attacks in Europe and even in the Premier League. I think our front three is monstrous. It's a big attack. The three up front for Manchester United currently, I think they compare very favorably with most teams in the Premier League and even in Europe. Because now, if I ask you, who is the best three out there that you may look at, maybe from other clubs that you think are better than what Manchester United currently have? I have a feeling you will not get many because whatever Manchester United have right now, that is that's a monster of attack. Now, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to this channel, and at the end, just give me a comment. What do you think? What do you think about this attack that Manchester United have assembled? Because this is a group of boys that can take us places. They can take us to the very apex of the Premier League, and they can take Manchester United to the very apex of club football. You know, because for the years we've had very good strikers. Manchester United has always had some of the best strikers in the world. There's a time we had Falcao, we had Cavani, we had Ibrahimovic, we had Wayne Rooney, Cristiano Ronaldo, Robin van Persie. These are strikers that will shake anyone's confidence out there. Yeah. So I think the club is going back to exactly what we used to have. A group of players who want to play for the club, who want to belong to the club, and they are ready to fight for the badge. And that is exactly what we have right now at Manchester United. Because the players that have come in, they are, when you look at Cunha, for example, he had only one mind and one club in mind at that point, Manchester United. He only wanted to come to Manchester United and nowhere else. Then you look at Mbeumo. He had chances to go to other clubs. He would have gone to, for example, Tottenham, because his former coach is there, and they're buying good players. They're in the Champions League, but he stuck to his guns that he only wants to play for Manchester United. So it tells you something. Then there's Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal, in fact, everyone knew Arsenal was going to get this guy, because from the very beginning it was always Arsenal and Sesko to Arsenal. That was a big deal out there. In fact, Fabrizio Romano milked that idea of Arsenal getting Sesko. He talked about it from the very beginning of the season until a point where it was not making sense anymore. And then this deal just broke down. Arsenal buckled away. I don't know their reasons. I don't know whether they saw something that we need to talk about. But I know, we got a good player in this Benjamin Sesko guy. He is a bloody good player. He's a monster of a player, Then you look at Sesko himself. He chose Manchester United because he wanted to be at Manchester United, a club with no Champions League. But the allure of playing at Old Trafford is unbelievable. Do you agree with me, or am I just babbling around? What do you think? Share your comment. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Now, what was I talking about? The three at Manchester United, the attack three at the front right now, are some of the best strikers. Because if you look at the return of Benjamin Sesko, 13 goals in the league last season. Mbeumo, over 15 goals. Cunha, equally the same. Then you add Bruno's goals. You add the 1-2 goals that will get from various players in defense, in midfield, and then you have an attack that is working. We are going places. This is attack that can be compared to any other in the Premier League. Now, take Man City for example. They have Haaland, Tip. They have Mamouche, and then they have who? Bernardo Silva. For example, maybe Cheki. They have the Belgian Dogu. Good players. But if you compare that to Manchester United, we also have Zax in the mix. We still have Hojland in the mix. We have Mount, there's Bruno. That is a comparison that you can make. That is something that you can compare. Then you go to a club like Arsenal, the Gunners. Yeah, these are our enemies from many years back. You know, they have Gyokeres, and then they have Saka, Martinelli. Well, who else do they have in attack? Someone that brings fear in you. Maybe Havertz. You know, those are four guys. If you look at what we have at Manchester United, they're way better. You know, maybe Madueke can add some goals. You know, so it is something that we can compare. Right now, we can compare. Then there's Liverpool. Now, Liverpool will beat most clubs in attack because of the players that they are currently assembling. In fact, they have not. They're not finished assembling the players. They are still looking at Isak at Newcastle. You know, if they get Isak, then they'll be like away ahead of most teams because they'll have Weeds. They have Isak, Ekitike, they have Jota, then the great Mohamed Salah. Remember, Salah is still there. You cannot write Salah off. He cannot be old over one season because he just topped the scoring chart last season. So Salah is still someone to look at, you know. So Liverpool basically has that advantage. They have the age, and then the fact that they have the recent history of winning the Premier League. That makes them slightly above most teams. But if you compare what Manchester United have to, for example, Chelsea, I don't think we are way off. I don't think we are badly off. So Kick on Sports is confident. Coach Charles is confident that this Manchester United team that has been assembled by Ineos and Amorim, this is a good attack. Better than most. You know, better than any that you may bring out there. You know, Tottenham, we can't compare ourselves with Tottenham. Way better. You know, so the challenge will come when we talk about midfield. You know, whether the players know the system, whether the players understand the manager's philosophy, the manager's language, what the manager wants. You know, once that is done at Manchester, I think this is a club that is going places. They're going to do big things this season. I'm very confident. And on 17th, as Arsenal comes to Old Trafford, I think this is one of those games that will tell us the direction that Manchester United is headed. Remember, we are still looking at Carlos Baleba. We are still looking at Donnarumma. There are other rumors that are going around. You know, Garnacho refuses to play, but hey, this is Manchester. We'll bench him, he'll be benched, and he will stay there until he decides to leave. You know, a player like Antonio will have given him a chance because that boy just needed love. Just love. But that is something that we don't have enough at Manchester. We need players who are ready to do the job. That's why we have Cunha, we have Sesko, we have Mbeumo, we have Ahmad, we have Bruno, we have Zaxi. Hojland is still there. And the list goes on, you know. If you can get a fit mount this season, if we can get Kobe Mainu firing, and we get some support in midfield, I think we are good to go. But Kick on Sports is confident. Are you confident? Give me a comment. Let's talk about this. What do you feel about what I've just said? Okay? Anyway, see you in a bit.